Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gaurav Sharma. I'm part of HCO Networks. I'm part of product line management team. So let's start about talking about the Cassini product. So first of all, this is the hardware. It's a 1.5 IU and it's a modular one. So here we are talking about the SONiC use case other than the L2 and L3. Okay. So what we targeting here, we are going to support OTN application where this product will be doing the L1 function. Okay. So if you see so today's deployment, if we talk about the mobile backhaul or the telcos, they would need to aggregate the bandwidth over the OTN wavelength. Okay, so this product can't handle, because routers and switches are working on the gray wavelength. So you need to have a product which can support like conversion from fixed wavelength to the colored one. Okay, so that's we call it the DWDM network layer. We have to put it down between the two endpoints. So here this Cassini would go into this part. Okay, would be taking, we would be connecting like switches or the router on these ports. These are 100 gig QSFP 28 ports. Okay, and then using these CFP2 slots, okay, which has got the DSP circuit, it can convert analog to digital on the C-band wavelength. So it gives you one slot can give you like 100 and 200 kind of capacity based on QPSK and QAM kind of modulation. So it's this product can able to switch 1.6 tera. The interesting part is that we are using the Broadcom silicon here. So this product is capable of doing other than L1, but we want to demonstrate here the SONiC use case with the L1 functionality. Okay, so this product is put down here between the endpoints. It's taking the gray wavelength with the router and switch at the client side, and then converting to the C-band kind of wavelength. Okay, so it can work in the point-to-point kind of configuration, and we have also demonstrated this product with some of the customer using the switching. So if one of the link get down or there is any failure, so traffic can move to the second CFP2. And interesting part is that we have recently started supporting bidirectional optics also. So you don't need to have a two fiber. You can actually do the functionality of the CFP with only single fiber. Okay. So this is all about the hardware. If I talk about the CFP2 line card, so this is the PIU card which goes here. Okay, and on top of it, we support CFP2 with different our partners. It's a Lumentum, Fujitsu, and others. And so the partner list is keep on growing based on the use case. And if you compare the traditional, the DWDM OTN kind of transponder and our solution, you would find it would be cost effective. At the same time, because SONiC is a very stable platform, and we are seeing there a lot of use case being served. So because of our partner like PalC, they have developed the capability to do the L1 cross connect and other functionality. So it's give you, photonics kind of integration, okay, with the SONiC. It's a pluggable. So it's based on the pay-as-you-grow model. So it supports the 8 slots. So on day one, you can go with 1, then you can increase based on the requirement. And it's quite flexible to, do the configuration. And in terms, it supports the 2 type of modulation, QPSK and QM. And the architecture is programmable. It's based on the open source. And second, the interoperability part is quite easy because we work with different kind of demos and the POC, where we also interop with the traditional OEM player. Yep. Can we move to the next?
Okay, so basically, this is the overall NOS architecture actually. So as Gaurav pointed out, the box, whatever you had seen, right, that had the capabilities of packet switching as well as the insertion of coherent optical interfaces. Now, if you see the overall software architecture, right, so we have a unified management layer with it exposes the common APIs for, CLI, SNMP, NetConf towards the northbound. And so this is where the fitment of SONiC as a case for non-data center use case has come, right? So this Ethernet ASIC controller is running basically based on something called as microsonic. So microsonic is nothing but the regular sonic, but you just cut down or don't run, let's say, a set of Dockers which are not needed for this particular requirement. So this Ethernet ASIC controller runs based on microsonic and programs the regular vendor SDK, so which is Tomahawk Plus in this case via the SI. Now there's something called as a transponder controller. That is where the programmability of the optical interfaces come in. So the way we have SI for a regular chipset or a vendor SDK in this world, right? The equivalent of that is transponder abstraction interface, which comes to the optical world. So, and the box, like he mentioned, has the capability of getting connected with the both at once. So for TIE also, we have a corresponding abstraction interfaces. There are multiple vendors such as Lumentum, Acacia, Regale, Philips,
Fujitsu.
and Fujitsu, yeah, people like that who provide that pluggable CFPT modules. And the entire OS, right? This is based on the Open Network Linux, and we use the ONLP, version 2 for programming the peripherals of the device. Yeah, so these two were primarily the kind of use cases that we wanted to cover, which were, so always we talk about data center when it comes to SONiC. So these were the two real world use cases where we have already developed software and things are in some kind of, POC or the pre-trial stage. Yeah, so I'll just take 2 to 3 more minutes in covering. Yeah, so I mean, at least from as a mid-sized startup company, right? From the multiple vendor interactions that we are doing, these are few of the challenges when it comes to SONiC adoption, right? So no matter, we see there is a big volume of features getting added day by day across a technological segment, but when it comes to some kind of deployment, customers at the end of the day, right? On day one, they want to meet or in parity with Cisco or Juniper. That's the kind of requirement they ask. But the community is evolving and there's a set of features constantly flowing in, and thankfully it's improving a lot, but still today, till date, documentation is something which in SONiC for a newcomer, right? It's still he or she is going to face a lot of problems. So this is where I just want to take a couple of minutes what, let's say, companies of our stature can do, right? So what we have recently launched is a 24/7 disaggregated networking support, primarily for someone who wants to start on SONiC. Let's say he has purchased 2 to 3 edge core boxes or UFI space and some boxes, right? And he wants to get on SONiC and see for his typical brownfield deployment, what can he do with those boxes? So that is where the servings of PalC on these areas can definitely help in. So we have a 24/7 support infrastructure in place along with the resident engineer support. We have few skilled network engineers whom we can send to the customer site to configure and show them that, okay, with the present set of infrastructure, when I say infrastructure, both hardware and software you have, these are the things that you can do. These are the things you cannot do. And when he makes a note of the things that he cannot do with SONiC plus that box, right? Those were the things that we try to kind of accommodate in our roadmap when it comes to the extensions of SONiC. Yeah, so one last slide related to what other aspect that we do, right? So primarily PalC Networks as a company, we do software development service, software integration service, as well as support service, and the typical development of layer 2, layer 3 MPLS multicast set of features on top of both commercial NOS as well as disaggregated NOS, right? So that is our bread and butter. And of late, since about last 1 year or 1.5 years, we have started developing custom-made or the tailor-made solutions or use cases on top of SONiC for specific customers. So yeah, so we were incorporated in 2017 and we are about 120 plus engineers now. Our headquarters is Bangalore and we have one more R&D center in Chennai as well. Yeah, so thanks a lot Microsoft team for organizing this wonderful event, and special thanks to Ashay and team for the constant coordination and the support. Thank you.
This was great. Thanks a lot for presenting. I love the presentation personally, to be honest, and I love the support model which they are introducing, because we always talk about the enterprise or cloud scale. I love the idea if somebody is going and buying a limited hardware and they don't know anything about SONiC, you will be able to at least support handhold. Yeah. That's what I really loved about. Great presentation, great work, guys. Yeah.